That's good. And here we go. Where is he at? Let's bury him again. Where is he at? Darn it. There he is. Okay. All right. We're back on, brothers. We're back on. Rikas, I know you don't want to be recorded, but this is for posterity. You guys got to let me know if you want me to put this on my streams or not. Kind of telling people how the stuff works. I don't know. That's part of your business model is telling people how your stuff works. But like me, you ask questions. This tutorial could help you when people apply to your service. They'll know how to talk to you instead of being upset with um, you believing that they should know exactly what you're talking about. That kind of information, because actually, if you want to put it in code speak, CODE speak, uh, an American listening to an Indian and an Indian listening to an American, we have our codes of speech. And it takes a long time to figure out what those codes are generally, usually quite a few years of education, this, that, and the other, but it's programming. And you guys have been programmed into the Indian model, and I've been programmed in the American model. And they're different programs, as you are, I'm sure, fully aware that different programs do different things for different types of activities, that type of deal. But anyway, my screen is blank, don't know what's going on. I ask for a resolution on how to be able to get to my photos on this camera so that I can launch them onto YouTube and Facebook so that my listening, hopefully growing audience will partake. And the title of this will be How to Negotiate with Your Tech Support. That's it. How to negotiate with your tech support. And I hope it'll help you guys because, customer service is a big issue in America because there's a lot of folks that have been trained that are calling you that believe that service, when paid for, should be delivered. And I'm not saying you're not doing that, but just be mindful of it when you're dealing with people that expect service. That's what I would say. So anyway, what the hell now? Let me see if I'm still up. Just going to check here real quick. Here we go. Well, in case you noticed, didn't notice it, what I have on my machine, I have two monitors. My laptop's playing. You see it right now, but it doubles on the screen there and it blocks it and that kind of thing. And we don't want that because I want you to be able to see the big screen, which is what I have the pointer pointed to. I got a good deal on this, by the way, from Best Buy. It was one of their open box deals, and it's normally, I think, $247. They got it for $199. So they do have deals. They're at the Best Buy. You can ask, well, do you have any open box deals? That kind of thing. And you might get your equipment a little bit cheaper, but you do have the issue of, well, will it work when I get it home type of deal. So here you go, off again. Oh, oh, oh. And there he is. I'm not on. I don't see myself. I'm not playing with myself at all. But my camera is viewing the results. Let's talk to Rickus and see what's up. Okay. Oh, man. What happened there? Where'd he go? Didn't come up right away. I right click that one. Let me see what the left click. Oh, there he is. Okay. He was touchy about giving me his Indian name, but I think I got it. Rickus there. What's up? Perhaps. Honey Dave is available. Hmm? Here we go. So anyway, I requested one of the, how would I put this? How would I describe Honey Dave? I got his Indian name, Diala, something like that. I'm terrible with names. I write things down. I lose the pieces of paper, and hard for me to get back to them. I put them in folders. Talk about folders on a computer. You ain't seen how efficient my filing system is, have you? But anyway, I could pan it, but this camera's a little bulky. I get it on the stand. I have a little tripod that I put on it for viewing myself, and I can switch around. But I'm creating my video production unit known as Labo Studios. Capiche? Capiche? Now, it used to take you quite a few thousands of dollars to be able to do this. I know because at one time in 95, I started building my tower. Start out with Windows 95, and Windows 95, yeah, it worked really well. It could do the Word and could do, things on it. And Bill Gates and all of his money grubbing, treacherous greed decided that 95 wasn't good enough for him, so he's going to go to Windows, which, as word would have it, he stole from another company. Yeah, they took their photographic memory cats into this other company. Those of you that know the story, that saw the film of how Bill Gates got his riches, he stole them. How he got, what was it? What was that? DOS is, they had some cat up there in Seattle that had written this program, and they went to him and they said, "Hey, sucker, we'll give you $50,000." And he jumped at it because he thought it was like, well, nobody's going to do nothing with this. I mean, $50K is a pretty good chunk of change. I'll take it. But they stole Windows. So I don't know. You tell me. Is that is that is that not an antitrust situation? Hmm? It's actually under the law of takings, it's piracy. Bill Gates is a pirate. Paul Allen is a pirate. And I'm sure that Steve Jobs and Wozniak, they didn't originate everything that they know. They had to study it from somewhere else. And, let's get into the copyright. My friend Mark Stevens knows a lot about that. Go to his feed if you want to know about the law in all its permutations. Permutations. He's the man. But this whole thing about copyrights, and they got shut down on the Facebook for playing music in the background. And apparently they want me to pay them every time this song is played, yet you can go on the so-called free radio and listen to endless commercials and hear it. And those stations have to pay them, they want to get paid. And for the Paul McCartneys, and I imagine Eric Clapton's a pretty rich bitch. Madonna certainly is. Certainly. Mariah Carey is rich. Again, back to her little dance with that feller from Virgin. Like a Virgin. I wonder if Madonna went like a virgin to see him on his island in the Caribbean. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? The guy that started a record company, and he's only worth a couple $1 billion now. My question to those guys is, how'd he do it? So let me see if I'm still on. Let's see if I'm still broadcasting. Let's go. Got to check this because I never know when things get turned off. How's it going for you new folks with your trillion, godzillion, gigabyte, boobaba machines that are literally artificial intelligence that can outthink you even on your best day? And you're trying to figure out, well, I had a thought just back then, but it rolled into this other thought, and it rolled into this other thought, and I can't figure crap out because I couldn't go back to the thing that they started with to figure it out. Because somehow or another it disappeared into the digits. The digits. Don't throw me into the digits. So all of you that want to know how to get a hold of these people, it's right there, but they changed their number. They gave me a new number. It's on my recording. I don't know that. Well, you can get them by email. You can email them. That would probably be your best reach. They are looking for new business, and I highly recommend them. They have been patient with me to an extreme degree, as I'm sure you can observe from my velocity of speech. And speech velocity, high speed speech. He's one of those guys who can do that roll off, and terms can just, and you're supposed to fully understand what their terms and conditions were, which is quite a fade, Ralpha, if you know Dune. Quite a fade. I will kill you! Stinger banger! Anyway, I think he's gone to lunch. It's like 12:15. I mean, uh, a show of hands to the neck deep in need of tech. And it ain't the stuff you're neck deep in is like a digital is. And these are your guys. Um, I did have another company which I won't mention because I don't want to direct any energy that way. But these guys are fine. We had our ups and downs. They're really freaked out about being known in other departments, but they're all about their supporting you. But it comes and goes. 9 to 6. I have a request here. It would actually help you. Maybe you reboot and have to do a lot of cleanup after 6. Maybe you need all night to do that to rejigger your stuff. I don't know. But what I would highly recommend is to at least have a few people that will work the 24 hours so that eventually someone can get through. My previous software company, if you would call them at 2 or 3 in the morning, sometimes you'd get an instant on. They weren't distracted by anyone, and you could get your computer handled relatively fast. But what you guys have done to yourself, actually, this is really a problem, is that you put yourself into this block of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and you try to cram in 24 hours worth of work into that time spot. And aside from its sheer impossibility, it makes very heavy work for you guys. I mean, and take a break. I mean, if you had the midnight shift, not, midnight to 6 or whatever, I mean, there's not a lot of activity going on, and you're setting at your machine maybe a little bit peaceably, not chaotically like it appears to be you're running at the 9 to 6 schedule. And this will happen with any tech company. It's the way they roll. They don't know how to hire. They get a bunch of new people coming in, and they try to catch up by hiring new people to support you. I don't know how big their support room is. Could even be in a house in a front room. It's a startup maybe. I don't know how long they've been in business, but they could be at a commercial venue facility like a big warehouse, and they can expand as large as they want to go. But I'll give you a piece about that expansion business in the stock trade, a piece that a kid that I knew, Giovanni Ribisi, did about being a stock merchant. And he discovered that when their scam had been completed at this one facility, they could just go across the quad or the area, and there was another building that already had the phones set up so that they could come out and be presenting themselves as a completely new company, but very important, doing the exact same scams. It's also in Sopranos where the chosen nephew was running this boiler stocko, get your bucko type of dealie, and they were very serious about pumping their stock up. And you can ask the kid that was recommending other services. Hence my desire not to be too mobbish about it. But anyway, I believe in if I pay someone money and they do a good job for me, we've got a good contract. But on the alternative, I also believe that if I pay somebody and they don't do a good job for me, they are not fulfilling their contract. And in legal terms, it's called breach of contract, U.S. And what I would say about that, would you say that the United States government, all of the state governments, all of the county governments, all of the city governments and all of the town governments are in breach of contract to you, the people, because they don't seem to be paying too much attention to the Constitution and Bill of Rights. They will offer it to you as an exchange for your what? 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 Mm. Government gives you something, they expect something in return. That's contract. But they don't tell you, full disclosure, what the contract is until, of course, you go into court and find out that rights, right? What the hell is a right? I don't know what a right is. What's a right? Ain't it? It says inalienable. What's that mean? Inalien? Ooh, able, alien, in, able, alien, in, able, alien, in. Do you get it? Do the inversion. If you're confused about something's title, they give you responsibility. This is a good one. What about inverting it? Switching it around, cut it in half. Responsible. Here it is. Able. Just add a little thing. Able to respond. Is that what it really means? You're able to respond. So you're being responsible. You're able to respond. And they have jurisdiction when you are able to respond. You are responsible for responding. Are you not? Judges and politicians and vested interesties and on and on and on. Corporationese and these guys are they're fledgling and they're bringing it on. They're doing their Indian dance with the Americanos, and I applaud you guys. I mean, to deal with Americans that aren't used to being dealt with on any level, except their damn computer won't work, and they're pissed off because they have to call someone to get it to work. It's not a good energy that anyone would invite if they did not absolutely have to under the rubric of making a living. Making, maybe. So there we go. Let me see if I'm back on. I gotta check here. There he is, old ugly, talking again. Old ugly. On this piece, I will introduce an idea that I hope you fully support. I will title it and I will put it on my what do I want to talk about on Facebook, and what do you got to say, or whatever Zuckerberg and a company wants you to do for them. By the way, if you don't think that they're algorithm riveting you along. This is what Buckerberg. Oh, there he is. That's what Buckerberg said. That's it. That's what Buckerberg said. Ain't he got bucks? I don't know why they give me all this information, but he didn't finish the phrase. But I certainly know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to market it to other people, uh, corporations, on and on and on, that want it. And I will charge change for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Google, YouTube. They're monetizing YouTube. I want to put that out there again. They're monetizing it as you speak. The first offer of the contract for YouTube, if I recall correctly, as that it was maybe a free service. Really? When you got to pay $2.99 for their first up and their pay for this thing, and then there's cats. I love them. I love all you pirates out there. They're saying, well, free is free, and if they're not going to let me go free, then I'm going to go free. That kind of deal. And I love it. Same thing happened with Napster. All the copywriters came in and said, you can't take all our stuff. Now, this is marketing. They paid for the studio, they paid for the recording, they paid for the lyrics or whatever, that somebody created the lyrics. I'll give them that. They created them. out of thoughts that were compiled of, connecting the dots from information that they'd received from other beings on the planet. They put it into their form after connecting some dots, like Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. There's something happening here. I'm sure when they sat down to write that song that they were sourcing news feeds about cops beating up people. They were sourcing high-powered water hoses that were washing the blacks literally down into the sewer. And another thing, I got to get on this. My other brothers and sisters, not blacks, not Negroes, not niggas, not Sammies, not aliens. Just tell me when you talk to me or you think about me is what would you like to be called? Let me see. Let me see. Gotta put this here. I snapped it down so tight, can't turn it down. God darn it. These things. Sometimes you don't know your own strength. I'm trying to get a knob here so I can swivel my camera around. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I want you to answer this. Oh, I can't do it yet. Where's the other knob? Do I have a knob here? Oh, it's on the inside. There, that one is. That one is. Yes. You want to know how they can mess things up? They can make something. Oh, there it goes. I'll just do it this way. Here he comes. Now I forgot what I was offering there. Oh my God. It was a good run, too. Anyway, back to control. Round control to Major Tom. I would say butt control to Major Tom. They're controlling your asses, aren't they? Everything that you do, everything that issues forth from you, up to and including and after and all around your DNA. D and A and D. After descending, I don't know. But you are being tracked, yes, inside, tracking everything. They want the mega data on you, yes. Well, we know what he thinks now, and so we can control his mind much better because we know what he likes and we know what he dislikes, and we're not gonna thump his nose in his dislikes. We're gonna give him what he likes. And the idea there is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, attaching to your title, you are to consume what you like. Isn't that simple? You are to consume, and these are orders from on high. You are to consume what you like. It is your choice to buy, isn't it? But how do you buy? Oh, there it is. It comes in again. Back to the copyright. On everything. On everything. On everything. Maybe the jihadists were pissed off at Salman Rushdie. Ayatollah Khomeini. Let me give you some Ayatollah spros. Bushahola, the Ayatollah of Mushimola. Yeah, that's the Bushy boys. Yeah. And Governor Bush, let me connect some dots here, being the governor of Florida and letting one state decide who's going to be president, Gore, you'll either get gored or you'll get bushed. Now, in the sexual parlance, not so much for the goring business, but getting bushed, got something there. Got something going there, Bush. I wonder if they were thinking of that when they named themselves. Oh, there's a fine bush over there. And we ain't talking no greenery. Well, although some might be. I don't want to go there. But anyway, you're being tracked. What is it? This is Malcolm X. If I can quote the brother. You've been had. You've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. Yeah. And when Malcolm was talking that truth, it was a very dangerous thing to do, and the man stood up and did it. And I'm not going to say that I'm that brave, but this is my audience, and if you get anything out of this at all, well, I've kind of done my job, I think. And our contract, if you want to call it a con and tracking, track the con, you could say, track the con. You've been conned, and now they're going to track you. That's a government contract, by the way, such as your driver's license. License? 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 Is there lice involved in that sense? There's sense lie. Oh, there it is. Sense to lie. Sense to lie. That's what the government's doing to you by telling you that you need a contract to basically exist. But of course, if you pay them, they will allow you to exist.
But I just filled out a piece of paper and signed it and dated it and gave them all the information about me. And you mean they were serious about that? That now I'm their slave bitch? That I got to do what they say? I got to go by their codes and their statutes?
That, by the way, do not belong to the people of this country. They are owned, copyright, by the bar associations throughout the planet. They own the law. Look it up. They own it. And so when you go into their facilities, such as your County of Los Angeles Superior Court, there's the symbolism is this. There's usually a gate fence thing, and when you're called to the bar and you put your hand on the bar, this is Jordan. I'm not speaking out of skull here. Talk to watch Jordan Maxwell. He describes all of this. This is how occult it is, and you don't have a clue about how they're actually running the damn thing, do you? They just go, "You're guilty. Pay the fine or go to jail." Right? That's all you know, right? Informaciones. Informaciones. Capiche? Anyway, so there you are in Quat, and you don't know the symbolism, so you don't know how to keep your goddamn leg out of a bear trap. And so you walk right into it. So when you even touch that fence, which is known as the bar, in Admiralty Sea parlance, the bar is a sandbar. And you have a choice of rolling your vessel onto the bar, which is trespass. You didn't have permission to do so. Putting your hand on the bar, and especially when you open the gate, you are now crossing the bar into the Admiralty Sea jurisdiction, and you are of a crime trespassing.
It's a felony in some jurisdictions.
And therefore, under the 14th Amendment, unless you have been convicted of a crime, you do not have to cooperate. Otherwise, that would be a slave. Look it up.
14th Amendment.
There's also the original, or 13 and 14, something in there. Sometimes they get the numbers messed up. I wonder why people get the numbers messed up all the time. Is that really why there's numbers in the first place? Why can't you just go like Tim Allen,
Wrong, 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 wrong,
and get her done? Why can't you do that? Huh? It's all about the sound and the inflection and the misdirection and da 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 da. Let me see if I'm still on. Yep, still going. Now these guys are hanging tough. They know here at the Sapphire. Back to that. Anyway, I wanted to ask you this question. This is what I want to do. I want to be voted by anyone that's ever been on the web, ever. Come back just to do this for me. If you will do something for me, I want you to vote me the ugliest asshole in existence at this current time frame. I want to be known as that ugly asshole just pissed me off by being an asshole, telling me things that I have to think about, and I'm not happy about it. So I will vote for him for being the biggest asshole on the planet. Will you vote for me? Please tell all your friends, especially all you people out there that have lots of followers. Do a broadcast and say, I want you to vote for this asshole over here for being the ugliest asshole in the world. Might be beyond that too. Might be a universal thing. I mean, we'll have to ask the Anunnakis. We'll have to ask the Archons. We'll have to ask the Greys. We'll have to ask the Spider-Man and robots, all them creatures in Star Wars. Let me ask you this. Do you think them there creatures in Star Wars actually exist? And the room in Men in Black, when he opened the door and Will Smith was getting his indoctrination, and first he saw the little guys, bouncing around being mean and tearing up the kitchen. He saw them and he said, "What the hell is that? I wonder, what is that? They look like pretty operational types of the other kinds." And then when he walked into the big room and shit was flying around and he got a hold of that energy ball and flipped around and massacred a bunch of shit. Everybody had to duck. Masterful stuff. My question, do you think them critters is real? Huh? What do you think? But my all-time favorite late note, and this sucked a bunch of people in. I'm sorry, but it did. It sunk up. It was terrible. Avatar. Those of you that know what I'm talking about, do you not want to exist in that plane, PLAIN, in that plane, and create that plane? Have a body that can jump up trees, not climb them, but literally jump up them and fly down them. And. Wouldn't you like to be there in the floating rocks, climbing high, and then, as your reward for doing so, you meet one of the most magnificent flying machines in that existence, the golden phoenix bird. Masterful. The Flight of the Phoenix. Oh, highly recommended. The Flight of the Phoenix with the Jimmy Stewart as pilot thing, and they had a wonderful German in there that just nailed it as a gig. Well, I just built the toy upland gliders, but the principles are the same, and everybody's looking at him like, you fucking asshole. All you have, you're gonna get this big ass plane to work based on the shit you know about gliders? What the fuck? And that goes to the stupidity of the fellers because all things are built from models, even if it's just thought models. So a model, Delmo, I don't know, Del Ohm, there it is, Del Ohm, invert, model, or is it Eldmo? You play around with that. Start playing around with the way words are put together. I don't know if that's grammar or what it is. And then ask yourself this question. Who thought this shit up? So anyway, vote for me. I have everybody in the known universe. Go to my Facebook page. Go to my YouTube channel. And let me see, since Rickis is off recreating, maybe other customers, I don't think those guys have much time for anything. That 9 to 6 slam is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Anyway, let me bring this up. I'll bring you my YouTube channel up, and you can view her. You can view her. Let me see here now. It's going to take a bit. I think I have it down, or no, maybe he wiped him out. He had to wipe him out for something that he was doing. But here we go. Let's see if I'm going. Let's see what I'm cooking here. Yeah, there it is. It's pretty close. Let me get over it a little bit here. Okay. So he's manipulating the camera in such a way that you can see the entire screen. Yes, he is. I loved Beer Murray's scroll, Bill Murray's scroll or Sproul in Groundhog Day. That monotone he came with. Well, what if God is simply someone that's been around for a very long time and he knows everything? Was there a message there? My little I'm gonna wax arrogant here. I've been watching the Kung Fu. I'll give you an honorary title right now. Maybe, just maybe, if you want to accept it, you're my grasshoppers, and maybe I'm a massa. Oh yeah, I like to be a massa, massa cracker. Got to break that word down. You others, what is a cracker? What is your definition of what a cracker is? Or in the parlance, a cracker. Now, my mind went to this right away. When I first heard that phrase, I thought, are they talking about the slave master, the overseer, that would get out and crack a whip across your back if you weren't moving fast enough? Is that a cracker? Or is a cracker a stupid ass white folk? I'd like to hear about it because apparently that's the way you feel about it when we call you niggas. I think it seems to be tit for tat. I don't know, or tat for tit. I don't know. It seems to be a contract. We can't talk about you being titled nigga. So why is it okay for you to call us crackers again? Do you get me? Do you get me? So anyway, let me do some things here. Let me see if I can get my YouTube up. I think it's on this one. I'm going to go to Internet Explorer. My old machine, whenever it tapped on internet, I got all kinds of bugs and fleas and everything, and I just went to Firefox. But they have their dances too, and there it is. There's my channel right there. Do you see her? Right there. I'm gonna put her on that scale. DAN, capital DAN, lowercase D, and don't put in the smiley face. You don't have to. DANDEE. My daughter called herself D. Duckees, DUCKEES with a capital D, space, capital N, space. Who knows what that N might stand for? Maybe the N word. I don't know. You figure it out. And then you have Chickees, CHICKEES. And I do seize the chickies, especially those wonderful floating asses that appear before me as though magical. You might say follow the money. One of my favorite activities is to follow the ass, and I do quite often. How about all you fellers out there, and some of you women's too? The L action. I mean, what's your favorite aspect of the other? Female, male. What's your favorite aspect? Do you go for the eyes? Do you go for the ears? Do you go for the nose? Do you go for the throat? Or do you go for the chest? Or do you go for the proboscis? Or do you go for the legs and the feet? And on the backside, do you go for the massive back? And then it dribbles down into the ass area. And then, I'll tell you one of my favorite asses of all time is in Eyes Wide Shut, Nicole Kidman, when she's getting ready for an event with Tom. Tom is cruising, but not for her ass. But anyway, that was one of the propaganda values of that. It's like being married to one of the most beautiful women on the plane and having to seek comfort elsewhere is not a good look for anyone. And you got the infidelities and the diddly-diddlies and the piddly-piddlies, and then the word comes up, as did with Tom and Nicole, divorce, vorce the die, something like that. The force not be with you, what? Well, get out the attorneys on that, the divorce attorneys. You go into a consultation, this should be a heads up for all of you that don't know this energy. When you go to an attorney to launch a divorce against your other, their agenda, their first and only agenda is to take all your fucking assets. And they will do the play, say, well, if you hate him, you should divorce him. If you have bad moments with him, you should divorce him. They'll give you all the counsel you want as far as getting a divorce. Ask that Australian that got nailed for, what was it? He had $2 billion and she got a bill. Ask Eddie Murphy, half. Ask, oh man, Bruce Willis and what's her name? One of my favorites, the blonde girl. In Last Date Last Date, I think it is. And she corners the Nihonese gal in the bathroom, and she heretofore had not received this information. And Kim Basinger said to her, she said, well, in this country, you can sue for divorce and get half. Now, when the little woman heard that, and, knowing that her husband was a complete asshole, walking 3 paces behind and keeping the house and just giving her maybe a little bit of Gitas, to keep things going, I think that's called being a slave, being owned. I think it's called property. And anyway, she kind of objected to that whole theme, and she said, "Half-foo, half-foo." And Kim, being the generous gal that she is, she walked into the openness of the restaurant, and this will tell you how well set Beverly Hills attorneys can be. She said, I don't forget the amount. Forget the amount she said the guy was worth, but she says, are there any attorneys out there that would like to take on a divorce case? Her husband's worth X amount of dollars. And it was like light speed when they all jumped up and said, I'm your man. Now, if divorce is such a bad thing, how come there's so many attorneys after it? Figure it out, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And they're all about relieving you of the responsibility, able to respond to your assets. Well, that's a good one. You are not able really to respond to your assets if you have to hire an attorney, turn over your goods to them, an attorney, and he's got his eye on you. He wants your assets. And that's what they do. They go into chambers, and you've seen it happen in many teleplays. Look at what Brother Paul did in The Verdict. Where did they actually do their business? He had a shot. He could have settled for $70K. Right? Remember? And then he said, well, I should have 70. I fucked up here. I lost my witnesses. But he didn't know that Charlotte Rambling, oh, high tone, high vibe, high arc. Charlotte and Paul, Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati. I mean, who in their right mind, if they were especially in Paul's state at that time at that play, the reason he was an alcoholic was because of the work he did, I think, and ambulance chasing, I think. I mean, being booted out. This is the depths these guys go to. Think of this, and Paul outed it. He also did it in absent malice. He outed the system. He told you what they were doing. He told you how they did it. Whose choice is it to figure that out and say, well, I'm not going to play in that shit. There should be a way around. And I will give you once again a very magnificent, brilliant, brave, balls against the wall, Mark Stevens. Watch his feed. I'm going to go up and watch it. I discovered something on YouTube. I didn't know that they saved all of my watchings, and I got onto that menu by accident. And there he was. And so I listened to him again. I'm taking notes. I'm doing my own court fight, and I'm going to be putting that up soon. And I'm having a lot of success. And maybe you can too. If you've had enough and you don't want to bend over below the 45 and say, hang me, dang me, take up a perpendicular rope and hang me, that kind of stuff. If you've had enough of that, let me give you a factor. I've heard this stat back in the 70s when I first started doing this work, and I bought a program. I forgot how I got it. It was word of mouth. A friend told me about it. The Bear Bait Briefs. I don't know if it's still in existence. It may be up online. But he had some good ideas, and I used them. I won a case on appeal. And, it's all it is the words, people. If you learn how to manipulate the words the way that they do, and it's not hard. It's actually fairly simple. You just have to pay attention and ask questions whenever there's something that you don't understand. Well, why is it possible for you, Judge, for you, County of Los Angeles Superior Court, to have one of your agents, and you're all paid by the same bank? I think it's the Bank of International Settlements, because they're handling the traffic of their chattel, which is us, by contract, through our mothers signing a piece of paper when she birthed you at their dock. And according to the rules, at the age of majority, which they don't tell you anything about, you can rescind that contract and take over the ownership of your all capital letters trade name. And it is a trade name. They're trading on it big time. You aren't getting any of it, but they certainly are. Your trade name, they own all capital letters. So whenever you see it displayed, or a Mr. or any kind of titleishness in it, they are speaking to your debt or dead legal fiction, which is the only way they can do business because they are debt or dead legal fictions in and of themselves. And you say, well, okay, what do you mean by legal fiction? Which do you think is the more important term of legal fiction, legal or fiction? By far and away, it's the fiction. And a fiction is not based in reality, but there is a remedy to that. Whenever you contract with them, you just created it into reality. Hence, signing a document, you're docked at your birth, and they're offering you a document, and you sign it, and there's contract. So any so-called rights that you think you have go under the contract, whatever the contract says. And this is a violation of the Uniform Commercial Code. They don't give you full disclosure. They don't tell you what are the ramifications of you signing a driver's license, a passport, a license, a license, a license. They don't tell you. It's contract. Very simple. This is a contract that states that if you sign it and you consent to it, we can do any goddamn thing we want to you. And you have to do what we say, otherwise you're in breach of contract and you can go to jail. Yada yada, tada tada, mata mata. Or if you piss us off enough, police, police, we can shoot you dead. A lot of that going on these days. Okay, here we go. Let me see what I can do here. Let's do this. Pardon my Neanderthal approach to my machinery. Please, pardon. See, this I don't understand. There it goes. Here we go. And now I'm going to give you my YouTube channel for those of you who missed it. But anybody watching this, okay. See, normally that scrolls up into my channel. But here I go. Got to go to this button here. Here's my YouTube channel, Rebo. Well, that's my email, Bo long ago. There he is. Now you see here. Now you see if let me give you a handle here. This is Michael Tellinger. I love the brother. He's fighting the Central Bank of South Africa, and he's kicking their ass. You want to know why? Just a humble guy, researcher out looking for energy locations, ancient technology, because he loves it and he wants to find out more. He's a voyager, okay, and he likes to talk about it, and it's great stuff. Go to Michael Tellinger and listen to everything he's got to say. It will change your mind about what the energy matrix is on this planet completely. Just about everything that is propagated, propagandized from the system, for the lack of a better term. I would call them the power overlords, or whatever. They have a bunch of different names for it: Illuminati, Bilderbergers, Bohemian Grovers, Skull and Boners. I like that one. You are definitely boner the skull. Your nut is being boned when you go through their their ceremonies. Ask Bush, ask Kerry. They get to lay in a coffin nude and probably handling their junk and saying, well, yeah, I had this gal over here, and she was like a 7-year-old, and we had a good time. And I had this gal over here, and it's like another 7-year-old, and we had a good time. Those kinds of secrets. So that the boners of the skull can bone your skull anytime they want. And they say, well, you told us all about this little 7-year-old over here. And, just now we have statutes on the books that even if you talk about boning a 7-year-old, you're a pedophile. And you'll have a sexual register for the rest of your goddamn existence in this particular meat body. And we'll be able to hound you, make sure you're where you are. And what's the word? We will be able to control you. Even better than we have before, because you're a felon and you have a record and you can be tracked. And here we have a nice offer for you, an ankle bracelet. Good story. A week or so back, that black gal that was an absolute Rebo. Okay, what's my YouTube channel? Dandee Ducks. Dandee, Duckees, and Chickees. And you'll get the information here. If you scroll down, well, this is my page. But this is how YouTube tracks you. Let me see, where am I going here? Here's my Kung Fu. Now, this morning, I hit something. Here's David Icke. If you want to know all about the fourth dimension and the dragons, he's your man. And we have Vinny Eastwood. I haven't listened to him yet. Stefan Molyneux. See, he doesn't have his picture up. I wonder why. Stefan. Stefan's very touchy. He's very touchy about people knowing who he is, really is. And he's very good. A lot of his presentations, he just has an image screen. He doesn't show himself talking. I'm sure it's easier for him to sit down and maybe in his underwear. I don't know, and doing voiceover on an image, and it's pretty good stuff. David Icke has the same thing. All of them do. Jordan Maxwell, the way he bounces around, he doesn't have. I don't think he has a website, but he's so technically disadvantaged. He says that he can't even put up his own YouTube channel where people could actually see him speaking live. Jordan, you might want to look into that. I'll help you with it. If you want to send me an email, and I'll give you my email, you can fill it up. We'll see if we can crash Gmail. My email is Bo long ago, BOW, all lowercase, BOWLONGAGO at Gmail gmail.com. You might want to put a capital G on the G. I'm not sure. I saw my email earlier today through Rickus, and he showed me a look of capital G on the Gmail. They like to go big, the big G and the little G. All you gals might know a little bit about that. And that's why I call my favorite duck. One of the reasons I call my favorite duck Harley G. She hits my G spot. Anyway, my heart spot, I would say. Here got a guy up here, enlightenment. Let me see what he's got to say. Let me break his copyright right now. If I go there, what'll happen? Let's see. We're still recording. We're fine. Oh, see? Nothing happened. Oh, there it goes. And there I am right there on my side. He called this guy up. I'm not going to play the sound. I'll just show the image. Are they copywriting the vocality, or are they copywriting the words? Well, copyright, well, that's words, ain't it? So if I'm just giving you imagery, am I violating the copyright? But anyway, got me on there. There he is. Vote for him. He wants you to vote for him as the ugliest asshole on the planet. Please do. Please do. Uh, it is an offer. Do you accept? See, now I can edit my videos and this, that, and the other. And for those of you that haven't really spent too much time trying to figure out YouTube and the broadcasting of, you can get, and I'll give you my equipment. You can go down to Best Buy, and at Best Buy, if you get a bump on the C920, you could actually do this with a C270 as well. But I like the heft of the 90. It's the 290, a 920. It weighs better and it holds better, and you're not as likely to have it fly out of your hand inadvertently when you're pulling on the cord away from your facilities. But I figured out that the way I'm going to record out my yard is I'm going to unplug my laptop, which I always have a problem with every time I unplug stuff. It resets to the default, and I lose stuff. So I got to be real careful with that. They trap you into keeping your machine exactly as it is. But anyway, right here, Dandee, Duckees, and Chickees. What do you mean by that? What's a Duckees? And what's a Chickees? Now I'll show you something here. This is right out of Jordan Maxwell's information. 2, 4, 6. Hmm? And if I put these in brackets, which I don't think they'll allow me to do, you got 2 eyes, 4 eyes, 6 eyes looking at you. So there he goes. That's my YouTube. I'm going to get up on Twitter, and if what Trumpadump has done is any indication. Now let me ask you something. I'm gonna steal my own video. I'm gonna steal it right now, and I'm gonna show it to you. Am I guilty of copyright infringement? Let me ask. I'll give you the sound on this one. This is something that YouTube gave me on the video editing. This took 3 hours to edit. What do they call? What do they call? You know, Now, in case you ain't watching, that gal on the left there, that's Harley G. The guy in front of her is Harley B. And then you got Daniela, Danica, and the Daffy leading the way. They're going over to the pond. Now we're moving into. Yeah, there he goes. I got this here Yeti microphone, and it's picking up. They're picking up. I hope it is. That's Whitey Bulger. And I named her aptly because she is an egg assassinator. She will take Harley G's eggs, and she will pick them and eat them. She will take all the other birds' eggs, except for Harley B. He's a male. He ain't into the egg business. And she will eat them. And one of their favorite treats after I've cooked their eggs that I've collected in various and sundry ways is to eat the eggs, after the egg shells, after I've taken them off. In the early days when I was getting 18 eggs out of the ducks and 18 eggs out of the chickens every couple of days, I had a little business going where I was trading them. And just, other universally stuff. Yeah. They're eating tomatoes right there. And yes, I feed them tomatoes. Yes, I do. I was working around with the thing there. Well, there we go. He's still talking. Whitey's on the hunt. She's always on the hunt. She's the first one to appear in my kitchen. There's footage of that. And she's demanding to be fed treats. And I give her treats. I give her the potato chips. I give her the cottage cheese. I give her the cheese. I give her the bread. I give her they like oatmeal too. I got that too. And they like spaghetti. They like all types of melons. They're an altogether type of eater. And I love to feed them. And she got black feathers and little shades of Whitey Bulger. He wasn't all white, was he? If it is a con. So there it goes. I'm going to shut her off now. He's just scrolling his imagination. So be it. How do I stop this? In the sense that where to go? Where to go? He didn't actually experience it. It's just dots that he's connected with the information that he's. Where'd I get that video coming from? Is it over here? Search for. Let me look back here. Where's my video? Discover. Where'd it go? Discover. See the problem I got to go through trying to. Somebody's a talking. I can't shut them off. I don't know where it's at. Let's minimize. See what has happened. Hey, might be somewhere else. Let me get. Oh, there it is. Maybe. Look what I found. Where is it? Where'd it go? You have to have a plaque like Columbus. Oh, Columbus discovered America. And it's the facts. He discovered the Caribbean. Okay, darn it. Now see, I'm lost now. I don't know how to turn the damn thing off. I'm talking to myself. I do a lot of it. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? In the annals of his journey. Uh-oh. I lost my camera. That's what happened. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what comes up there. Open. Something like here we go. Underwater UFO. I forget what they call it. They have. Well, maybe it's down here. Oh, there it is. Now I got it. So. There we go. Stop it right there.
He didn't know to go down below.
Yeah. What makes you think Columbus had to discover anything? See, I finally get around to it. Now there's my camera. Is it still going? Yeah, it is. See? He ain't as dumb as he thought. He ain't as dumb as he looked. And also, we're going to add to the contract. You can call me the ugliest asshole in the world, and you could call me one of the stupidest in the world when it comes to these computer dumbs. Dumb computers? Computers aren't dumb. They're artificial intelligences that can literally think their way out of a wet paper bag. Ask all the geeks out there. Oh. But if you're ungeeked, unwanted, unclean, unneeded, and your only purpose is to be a consumer of the geekery, then of course you are welcome. All you have to do is pay to play. Capish? So anyway, I'm waiting for my brother Rickus to come back. I'll give him another tap here. they're having a hard time talking to me, or Rickus could be. I'll give it to him. He could be busy. I'll give it to him. They got other things to see. They may have a time limit. You can only talk to one customer for a certain amount of time, and then he becomes a piece of ass. I mean, he becomes what the? Then he becomes an asshole, and you must not talk to him any further. I'm not saying you guys doing this. I'll go with the busy up signal. Did I say Rick? Yeah, Rickus. There it is. Is that KIS or go HIS? Oh, I don't want to insult them. Sometimes I did. I miskey. Have you ever miskeyed? And you say, "What the hell I do that for?" I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little sci-fi here. Well, Rickus, where are you? Are you? They may be watching my feed now, so they're probably getting this. Rickus said he could see me, so we'll see. Where are you? And maybe even Honey. Oh, I went Hun 9. Honey Dave. I've got to get his name back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Honey Dave. You get Diala or something like that. I'm not sure. But you know, one of the unkindnesses of name calling is that if you get it wrong, you kind of have a tendency to upset people. That's what I would say. Wouldn't you? When you say getting someone's name wrong is very upsetting. And I'll give you 8 shots. There you go. Count the symbols. Count the symbols. Get it? Count the symbols. Here we go. And return. And there it is. Presto changeo. Talking to Rickus again. See what he's got to say. So let me see if I'm still up. Pretty sure the first thing that Rickus wants to do is turn this damn thing off. But it's not a damn thing. I'm having a good time with it. I paid good money for it. And we'll take her from there. Now, let me see. Where'd my screen go? Oh, my screen disappeared. Where'd I have it? Was it there? No, it wasn't there. It was there. No, wasn't there. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get it up here. Here, I'm gonna put it pile it on. I'm gonna pile it on. There it is, right there. Let me see if I can expand this out. No. Now Logitech, in their omnipotence, has decided that they're only going to give you. Well, let me see if this will expand for me. Here it comes. Here it comes. No, she won't enlarge for me. Now I'd appreciate full platformo Logitech. You can work on that with your tech buddies. And most particularly, you need to get the hookup to Windows 10 so I can upload my videos direct to YouTube and to Facebook and to Twitter and whoever else will accept my uploads. In fact, I'm going today to talk to Tanvana, now calling itself Spectrum, who was the villainous group in most of the 007 teleplays. Was it not Spector? Spectrum? Spector? Spectrum? Spector? Spectrum? Spector? And I would say at this juncture in my creations with them that they are certainly, I'll be kind here, practicing dark art evil. The evil. Maybe. Maybe. You can quote me on that, all your Biblists.
Yeah, he's talking about Satan, and is he one of them devil things?
Let me do this here. Let me do a little bit of flat plate. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there you go. That's fine. I can do that. I can deal with that. So anyway, this is the Logitech, for all you that will be watching this. This is the Logitech platform. You could also inform them, and Honey Dave gave me the hookup. He gave me the website. I don't know where the hell I get it. He said he put it in my favorites, but I haven't seen it since then. I mean, different favorites for different strokes or something like that. Yahoo's favorites work differently than Gmail's favorites, and you know it's like It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you to figure out what the difference is. And you don't even know there was a difference until you try to do the same thing on two different platforms. You say, well, why didn't it work over here? Oh, why the hell don't it work over there? What the hell? I got to call tech up now. Ah! It's perfect commerce. It's perfect. I mean, um, this is the scroll that Davy Icke will give you, and also Molyneux, and also Tellinger. And it's a Latin phrase. I don't. Some of you Latin fellers and gals might want to give me the correct pronunciation, but bringing order out of chaos. Important note there, they don't tell you it's them that created the chaos in the first place. But just like Lone Range Silver and Robin Hood, all of them, they're mythologicals. Thor and what's Ragnar Lothbrok's favorite god? What's that one? What is it? They're always talking about him. You tell me. So you're applying to the gods for help. Help me, God. So help me, God. Oh, that's a good one. That contract right there is making sure when you swear, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, they're making you verify that you have a contract with a legal fiction, God. In God we trust. It's a legal fiction. If you think it's not, then please produce God. I want to talk to him. Sit down, maybe have a beer, ask him what the hell this is all about. You think that would be fair? And not have to go through some preacher, priest, Monsignor, Pope to tell me what God has to say. I kind of suspect that people that say, like Joan of Arc, that they are speaking with God. Mm-hmm. Can get you in a lot of trouble in some areas. As the Catholics, they were serious about their Inquisition, weren't they? And all of the, what do they call that? The Crusades. Sade Cru? I don't know. It might be French. We're going to go down there and teach them Muslims that Christianity is the only thing that's going to go here. And the Muslims, for their part, saying, "Well, we're going to conquer the goddamn planet, and we're gonna up yours with Islam and the Koran." And I'm certain on several occasions that Koran with a big wooden stick was crammed up various posteriors to take home the point. Religion. Religion. Huh? I need to say religion? Is that what I meant? No. Religion. Any of you wordsmiths, smith of words, banging on the forge, banging those words out, bang, bang, the smith of the forge. Yes, bang, 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 bang. Wordsmiths. You're banging them out there. Please give us all the permutations, all the ramifications, all of the significances of the symbol word known as re. Well, let's use it in some of its definitions, shall we? Reconsider, recon, conre, sitter con, I don't know. Give me help here. See how it rolls. Reconstruction, rehabilitate, row your boat, rip me round the roily. Re is what you see. Maybe connection. I don't know. Seemed like there was an awful lot of people directing you to row that goddamn boat, wasn't there? And I do mean goddamn or damn God, whichever way you want to take it. Oh, I swear, you're blaspheming. Well, okay. Let's get the feller out here or the feman and ask him, him. Do they have a problem with me putting a damn at the end of his phrasing? Mm, 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 Village of the Dam. Damn Redskins. Damn, 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 da damn, 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 da damn. It's just words, people. And the controllers would have you believe that because you say something that they don't think is right, that you are convicted of blasphemy, the blasphemers. And if you don't think that's serious, many, 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 I would say millions at this juncture, have been burned at the stake. And I'm sure when they were reading the Koran on what to do with the Jordanian pilot that they roasted in that cage. Well, what does the Quran have to say about an infidel? Maybe he's Muslim, but he's working for an infidel. Maybe, we need to have a show of power that we can post toasty anybody. And I mean that commercially speaking, post toasties. How'd they post them toasties? Um, I think there was some heat involved. And so you're going there, right? I'm at an hour and 10 on this. So you're seeing me twice. I'm in the little screen. I could bring it down, but I'm covering my face just now. But watch what happens here. See if we can figure this out. So let's go here. And let me see what my brother said. This is what he said. I got to read it. Maybe you can from there. I'm not sure. Be done there. We will call you back. Oh, be done where? Okay, I could ask that, but maybe he's watching. I don't know if he has the time. Maybe he has me up on a screen and he's doing his work and he's behind the screen, ain't he? He's behind the screen. So anyway, we went through a lot of information. I could actually go up and stream this on. In fact, I'll do that right now. I'm going to stream this on Facebook. Here it goes. They're not going to like it, but I'm going to stream this on Facebook live. Here we go. Show you how it's done. I'm going to shut this off, and it automatically, this is brilliant stuff, really. Controls. Watch this. Oh, yeah, you hit the red button. I'm sorry. Here we go.